Cork was supposed to be unbeatable, yet they're beaten. So like and Tip beat them, Like whereas Offaly to me played lovely all through, and even against Dublin, it was a tight match. I just felt that they were the better hurlers. Like looking at them, they just seemed to have more natural skill all the time. Getting the scores easier, like.
Michael, I was just going through it there of the 2022 minor final and lads who played in their provincial finals recently. I'm sure there's a few more panelists who didn't play the last day. But just in terms of lads who featured the last day from the 2022 final, Tip had 12 players that progressed from that age grade 2 years ago, and you've Paddy McCormick injured as well, so potentially it will be 13. Offaly had 10 players who played in that minor final, featured in that final, plus obviously you would have Dan Ravenhill as well. But then also, just that key experience that ye had last year, ye 8 starters plus 3 subs that featured in that final against Cork last year, who were going to be playing again. It was 30,000+ last year in Thurles, unbelievable occasion. They have that under their belts. They're used to that. They're used to a crazy crowd following them the whole time. That I'm back in Tipperary all the way, don't get me wrong, but you do have the edge on that.
Yeah, no, and it's a great experience for young fellas to have, and even playing an All-Ireland final, things didn't go right for them, probably against Cork, and they were probably roughed up somewhat, and I'm sure they'll be ready for it to be very physical. I'm sure Tip will not adopt the same approach, but I'm sure it will be physical because Tip would see themselves, and I'm sure the Tip management see Tip as a more physical team than Offaly, and I think that's totally warranted. So I do think there will be it'll be fairly rough and ready. Sarah, you just mentioned there about, I think this is probably it's the 2 hardest working teams in the country anyway. Whatever about the skill of the Offaly lads, they are ferocious workers, and they don't, a lost cause doesn't exist. And I think there's a great buy-in as a result of that as well, with the silk and the class. There's a great buy-in from the public, because those lads are going to go and die till the very, very last ball. So yeah, it's going to be a brilliant game. Offaly bring in the bit of heartbreak from 2 years ago at the same venue against the bulk of the same players, and this is our 3rd All-Ireland in a row between minor and under 20, and there comes a time when you do need to go and win one, and the Leinsters have been unbelievable, but this would kind of finish the job, shall we say. And you talk about next year's under 20 Offaly team being better, and it probably will be better, but look at, as Cyril says there, Cork were supposed to be the best team in the country this year. They maybe weren't. They were a little bit more unheralded last year. Last year they won the All-Ireland. This year they were beaten in the Munster final. It doesn't always work out like that. So you just grab the opportunity in front of you with both hands, and you take what you can get while it's there.
Yeah, well, you look at Offaly at the moment, as you say, look at the euphoria after winning the Leinster title. Can you imagine All Ireland? And the same with Tip, they needed an injection after the seniors not doing well. And next thing outcomes, the minors were outcomes the under 20s and performed very, very well to get over a hotly fancied Cork crew, and they're there on merit as well. They won't have, it's fantastic to see you have the stats here about how many came through even the year before, the year ahead of their time. It just shows you what you need. And a lot of these Offaly lads are on the senior panel. Probably the Tip senior panel mightn't be as many, but they're probably stronger. It's harder to get on it. But Offaly's future really is this team, Now, so is Tip's. They'll get off it, but more Offaly than Tip, because if Offaly can win this team can be the senior team, say in a year. Most of these are going to graduate to senior level, and they will have, if they can win, they have a title behind them, but also they have great experience, and even of the crowd, they have that as well, which is a plus on a big day.